Hello guys, welcome back to another video of Science and Social Hub. Today what we're going to see is about towns, traders and craftsmen. So let's get started. One of the most important aspects of the medieval period in the 17th century was the fast-growing urbanization. The Arab, Turkish and Afghan migrants settled in towns and cities and many new towns were found. Growth of trade and the rise of cities. Some of the causes for the growth of trade and commerce which led to the rise of new towns are as follows. There was peace and racial harmony in the Mughal Empire. Travel was safe for traders. There were good means of transportation in the country. The roads were well linked. The rivers were also used for efficient transportation. The structure of taxes was uniform. A trader could sell his goods anywhere in the country. There was great demand for luxury goods. This gave great encouragement to handicrafts. The Mughal rulers issued coins in pure silver. This could be exchanged easily. The mandis, or the places where the farmers sold their grains, slowly developed into small big towns. Sources of information about this period. The sources of history for this period are the accounts of foreign travelers who visited India during this period. They visited many towns and cities. They have included details about the prosperity of these towns in the description. Some of the travelers were Father Montserrat, Ralph Fitch and Domingo Pace. The maps prepared by Hondo furnish useful information about towns of India. The maps of Sir Thomas Roe gives details about administrative divisions of the Mughal Empire. The official famines or orders issued by the rulers are also an important source of history for this period. The towns that developed in the 17th century could be classified into three types: court towns, pilgrimage towns, ports and trading centers. Court towns. Some of the most important court towns or administrative centers were Lahore, Agra, Fatehpur Sikri and Delhi. According to Ralph Fitch, these were much bigger than London and were more populous. Lahore was the capital of Akbar between AD 1585 and 1598. It also had a huge fort. Montserrat wrote that Lahore was not second to any city in Europe or Asia. It was also the center of handicrafts production. It was the distribution center of Kashmiri carpets and shawls. Agra. Agra was the seat of royalty authority during the reign of Akbar. Agra was much bigger than Delhi. Abdul Fazil mentioned that the Agra fort, made of red sandstone, contained more than 500 masonry structures. It very much impressed the travelers who visited it. Cotton and silk weaving was practiced in Agra. Fatehpur Sikri. Fatehpur Sikri was the new capital founded by Akbar. It is very near to Agra. He shifted his court to the city in AD 1571 and remained there till AD 1585. In his book Commentaries, Montserrat referred to the city and its notable buildings. Akbar built imperial palaces at Fatehpur Sikri in honor of Sheikh Salim Chishti, a Sufi saint who lived there. Delhi. Shah Jahan rebuilt Delhi and named it Shahjahanabad in AD 1639. He built the Red Fort on the bank of river Yamuna. It was made of red sandstone. Chandni Chowk, an important shopping complex, was just outside the Red Fort. Pilgrimage towns. Several towns developed around places of religious importance for both the Hindus and the Muslims. Varanasi and Allahabad were believed to be holy places visited by the Hindus from all over India. Fatehpur Sikri and Ajmer had the tombs of the Sufi saints. They therefore became the places of pilgrimage. Other pilgrimage towns were Sanchi, Kurukshetra, Nakana Sahib, Amritsar, Puri and others. Ports and trading centers. Several other towns developed due to the products that were found in that region or due to their proximity to seashore. Gujarat had a number of such trading towns and ports, namely Cambay, Surat and Bhuj. Other important ports on the west coast were Goa, Cochin and Lahori Bandar. On the east coast, the important ports were Chittagong, Sonargaon, Masulipattnam and Nagapatnam. Kasim Bazar in Bengal was an important trading town for cotton. At Patna, the British set up a factory for collecting and storing cotton goods. Saltpeter was available in plenty in Bihar. Patna prospered as many foreign traders competed with each other to buy saltpeter. Trading communities. Vaishyas, Marwaris, and Boras were the main trading communities, besides the Gujaratis in general. In South India, the Chettiars were among the major trading communities. Overseas trade. India carried on trade with China, Sri Lanka, Arabia, and Persia. Cochin, Sonargaon, Goa, Surat, Masulipatam were important ports for external trade. Indian silk, muslin, and calico fabrics were in great demand even in the European cities. It might be interesting to know that several kinds of cloth took their names from Indian towns. For example, the word calico comes from Calicut. Crafts. The Mughal emperors Akbar and Shah Jahan were known for their patronage to artisans and craftsmen. Embroidery on cotton, silk, and wool was quite well known. Ivory craft flourished in Delhi and many other towns. The art of marble inlay reached excellence in medieval India. The finest of carpets were produced at Lahore. The craftsmen of Bidar were known for their inlay on silver and copper. This art was called Bidri work. That's it for today's video, guys. Thank you all for watching. See you later in the next video. Thank you. Bye bye.